Hi students, today I am teaching the concept properties of inverse trigonometric functions. We know that when f is a function from a to b is a bijection, then f inverse exists. F inverse exists. Whenever f inverse exists, we have f inverse circle f of x equal to x and f circle f inverse of x equal to x. When you have f inverse circle f of x equal to x, here in inverse trigonometric functions we can take the property 1, that is sin inverse of sin theta equal to theta. Sin inverse of sin theta equal to theta. Minus pi by 2 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to plus pi by 2. Theta belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Cos inverse of cos theta equal to theta. 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi. Tan inverse of tan theta equal to theta. Minus pi by 2 less than theta less than plus pi by 2. Cot inverse of cot theta equal to theta. 0 less than theta less than pi. Secant inverse of secant theta equal to theta. Here theta belongs to 0 to pi minus pi by 2. Cosecant inverse of cosecant theta equal to theta. Theta belongs to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 minus 0. Now, I discuss the problems based on this property. For example, sin inverse of sin 2 pi by 3. Here we have the property sin inverse of sin theta equal to theta. When do you say that it's equal to theta? If minus pi by 2 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi by 2. We know that when we restrict the domain minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, then only inverse of sine function exists. So theta should be belonging to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 only. But here we have 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3 means it is equal to 120 degrees. So that it's equal to sine inverse of sine 120 degrees. But it should be lying between minus 90 and plus 90 according to the given condition. So here we have to write this one equal to 120 degrees can be written as 180 minus 60. So sine inverse of sine of 180 minus 60. We know that sine of 180 minus alpha equal to sine alpha. So sine inverse of sine 60. Therefore 60 degrees lies between minus 90 and plus 90. So this can be taken as directly 60 degrees equal to pi by 3. Here we should not take directly sin inverse of sin theta equal to theta equal to 120, we should not write. We have to convert the given problem in the form of sin inverse of sin theta in such a way that it should lie between minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Here 120 is not lying between minus 90 and plus 90. So we should write 120 equal to 180 minus 60 and then we have to simplify. Similarly, cos inverse of cos 350 degrees. This we have to simplify now. We should not take this one equal to 350 degrees because theta lie between 0 and pi. Since theta lies between 0 and pi, here pi means 180. We should not take directly 350. We should not say that it is equal to 350. It is wrong. It is not equal to 350. So, now here we convert 350 between 0 and pi. To write it, we have to take cos inverse of cos of 360 degrees minus 10 degrees equal to, we know that cos of 360 minus alpha equal to cos of 360 minus alpha equal to cos alpha. 360 minus alpha lies in fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant cos is positive. So here we have to write cos alpha. So that it's equal to, now we have cos inverse of cos of 10 degrees equal to cos inverse of cos theta equal to theta when theta lies between 0 and 180 degrees. Here 10 lies between 0 and 180. So we can take directly it's equal to 10 degrees. Suppose if you have cos inverse of cos 120, we have to verify that whether 120 lies between 0 and pi. Clearly 120 lies between 0 and pi. So directly we can write this one equal to 120 degrees equal to 2 pi by 3. Convert sin inverse x into other inverse trigonometric functions. Let sin inverse of x equal to theta. Then we have x equal to sin theta. It implies x equal to sin theta. Sin theta equal to x by 1. Let me take a right angle triangle. Sin theta equal to x by 1. Opposite side by hypotenuse. Square root of 1 minus x square. Let ABC be a right angle triangle. Now we should write sin inverse x in terms of cos inverse, in terms of tan inverse, in terms of cot inverse, in terms of secant inverse and in terms of cosecant inverse. To write it, first we find cos theta from the diagram. Cos theta equal to, from triangle ABC, cos theta equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse AB by BC. AB by BC equal to, here AB equal to root of 1 minus x square by 1. So theta equal to, we have cos inverse of square root of 1 minus x square. But here theta equal to, we have sin inverse x. Therefore sin inverse of x equal to cos inverse of square root of 1 minus x square. Now we have to express sin inverse x in terms of tan inverse x now. To write it, first find tan theta from this. Tan theta equal to, we have x by square root of 1 minus x square. Opposite side by base. So x by square root of 1 minus x square. It implies we have theta equal to tan inverse of x by square root of 1 minus x square. Here theta equal to, we have sin inverse x. sin inverse x equal to tan inverse of x by root of 1 minus x square. Now we have to write sin inverse x in terms of cot inverse. For that, find cot theta from this. Cot theta equal to square root of 1 minus x square by x, base by perpendicular. So equal to root of 1 minus x square by x. Now from this we can write theta equal to cot inverse of square root of 1 minus x square by x. But theta equal to we have sin inverse x. Therefore sin inverse of x equal to cot inverse of root of 1 minus x square by x. Now we have to write sin inverse x in terms of secant inverse. For that, find secant theta from this now. From triangle ABC, we have secant theta equal to, secant theta means base by hypotenuse. Sorry, hypotenuse by base. 1 by square root of 1 minus x square. It implies theta equal to secant inverse of 1 by square root of 1 minus x square. But here theta equal to, we have sin inverse x. Therefore sin inverse x equal to cos inverse of 1 by square root of 1 minus x square. Now write sin inverse x in terms of cosecant inverse x. So let cosecant theta equal to hypotenuse by opposite side. So 1 by x. It's equal to theta equal to cosecant inverse of 1 by x. So that it's equal to, now theta means sin inverse of x. Therefore we are getting sin inverse x equal to cosecant inverse of 1 by x. So whenever we have one inverse trigonometric function, we can express that inverse trigonometric function into any other inverse trigonometric function. Prove that sin inverse of 4 by 5 equal to tan inverse of 4 by 3. Now here we have to express inverse sine function in terms of inverse tangent function. So first we have to take, let sin inverse of 4 by 5 equal to alpha. It implies sin alpha equal to 4 by 5. Now here take a right angle triangle ABC, sin alpha. So here sin alpha equal to 4 by 5, opposite side 4, hypotenuse we are having 5. So from this triangle ABC now, from triangle ABC we have BC square equal to AB square plus AC square. BC square equal to AB square plus AC square. Now here BC square equal to 5 square, AB we have to find AB square plus AC 4 square, 25 equal to AB square plus 16. So 25 minus 16 equal to AB square. It implies here we have AB equal to 4. AB equal to 4. Therefore this length equal to 4. Now we have to write sin inverse of 4 by 5 in terms of tan inverse. So for that we have to find tan alpha from the diagram now. We know that tan alpha equal to, it's equal to 3. Tan alpha equal to AC by AB. perpendicular by base. So here we have AC by AB. Here AC equal to 4 by AB equal to 3. So alpha equal to tan inverse of 4 by 3. But alpha equal to, here we have sin inverse of 4 by 5. Therefore, sin inverse of 4 by 5 equal to tan inverse of 4 by 3. Hence proved. So, when you have any inverse sine function, we can convert into any other inverse trigonometric function. Now, whenever we have the expression a square minus x square, we have to take x equal to a sin theta or a cos theta. A square plus x square, x equal to a tan theta or x equal to a cot theta. X square minus a square, x equal to a secant theta or x equal to a cosecant theta. Whenever we have a plus x by a minus x or square root of a minus x by a plus x, we have to take the expression root of a minus x by a plus x, then we have to take the substitution here x equal to a cos 2 theta, or we can take x equal to a cos theta. Now, for example, simplify tan inverse of x by square root of a square minus x square. Wherever you have a square minus x square, we have to take x equal to a sin theta or a cos theta. So, put x equal to a sin theta now. Put x equal to a sin theta. Then we get tan inverse of a sin theta by square root of a square minus x equal to a sin theta. So, a square minus x equal to a sin theta whole square equal to tan inverse of a sin theta by square root of a square minus a square sin square theta. Now, in the denominator we have to take common a square here. So, it implies tan inverse of a sin theta by square root of a square into 1 minus sin square theta. So, tan inverse of a sin theta by root a square equal to a, 1 minus sin square theta equal to cos square theta. So, root cos square theta equal to cos theta. So, it implies we have tan inverse of tan theta equal to theta. Here, theta equal to sin inverse of x by a. It implies we can take it as sin theta equal to x by a. It implies theta equal to sin inverse of x by a. Therefore, we can write theta equal to sin inverse of x by a. So, whenever you want to simplify tan inverse of x by root of a square minus x square, here we have to identify we have a square minus x square. Whenever we have a square minus x square, we have to take x equal to a sin theta or a cos theta. Whenever you have a square plus x square, you have to take x equal to a tan theta or a cot theta, then we have to simplify. Similarly, if you have 1 minus x square, x equal to sin theta or cos theta, put a equal to 1 here. 1 plus x square, put x equal to tan theta or x equal to cot theta. x square minus 1, put x equal to secant theta, put a equal to 1. Square root of 1 plus x by 1 minus x, put x equal to cos 2 theta, a equal to put 1. Property 2. In this property, we know that f of f inverse of x equal to x, whenever f is a bijection, we know that f of f inverse of x equal to x or f of f inverse of x equal to x. By using this property, we can write now 1 sin of sin inverse of x equal to x. If x belongs to minus 1 to plus 1, the value of x must be lying between minus 1 to plus 1, closed interval. Second one, cos of cos inverse x equal to x if x belongs to closed interval minus 1 to plus 1. Third one, tan of tan inverse of x equal to x if x belongs to R. Cot of cot inverse of x equal to x if x belongs to R. Next, cosecant of cosecant inverse x equal to x if x belongs to minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity. Secant of secant inverse x equal to x if x belongs to minus infinity to minus 1 union 1 to infinity. Now we have to discuss how do you have the problems based on this property. Let us discuss the problems now. One, sin inverse of sine of 3 by 5 equal to, now here according to the property, here we have sine of sine inverse of x equal to x. X belongs to minus 1 to plus 1. So the value of x must be lying between minus 1 and plus 1. Now we have to verify whether 3 by 5 lies between minus 1 and plus 1 or not. Yes, clearly 3 by 5 lies between minus 1 and plus 1. So here we say that directly this one equal to 3 by 5. Sin inverse of sine of 5 by 3. 5 by 3 equal to more than 1. Since 5 by 3 value is more than 1 and here x belongs to minus 1 to plus 1, we say that this value does not exist. Now, third one, we have sine of cos inverse of 3 by 5 equal to, here we have sine, here we have cos inverse. So the formula is we have sine of sine inverse of x equal to x, but here we have sine of cos inverse of 3 by 5. So we should write cos inverse of 3 by 5 in terms of sine inverse. Since we have sine of sine inverse of x equal to x, so we have to convert cos inverse of 3 by 5 in terms of sine inverse. For that we take let cos inverse of 3 by 5 equal to alpha. It implies cos alpha equal to 3 by 5. Now cos alpha equal to we are having 3 by 5. Now from triangle ABC, by using Pythagoras theorem, we have BC square equal to AB square plus AC square. After simplification, we get the value of AC equal to 4. So now from this we have sin alpha equal to 4 by 5 perpendicular by hypotenuse. So 4 by 5. Then it implies alpha equal to sin inverse of 4 by 5. Now alpha equal to here we have cos inverse of 3 by 5. Therefore cos inverse of 3 by 5 equal to sin inverse of 4 by 5. Now we can write this one equal to sin of cos inverse of 3 by 5 equal to sin of, we got cos inverse of 3 by 5 equal to sin inverse of 4 by 5. So sin inverse of 4 by 5, it's equal to 4 by 5. So whenever the given problem is in the form of sin of cos inverse of 3 by 5, according to formula sin inverse of x equal to x, we should convert cos inverse of 3 by 5 in terms of sin inverse. So for that we should take equal to alpha and then we have to convert in terms of sin inverse. Then we have to apply formula now. Sin inverse of x equal to x. Here in the place of x we are having 4 by 5. Prove that secant square of tan inverse of 2 plus cosecant square of cot inverse of 3 equal to 15. To prove it, first we have to take secant of tan inverse of 2 whole square plus cosecant of cot inverse of 3 whole square. Now here we know that secant of secant inverse of x equal to x. The formula is secant of secant inverse of x equal to x. So we should convert tan inverse of 2 in terms of secant inverse. Similarly here cosecant of cosecant inverse of x equal to x. So we have to write cot inverse of 3 in terms of cosecant inverse. For that first we have to take tan inverse of 2. Let tan inverse of 2 equal to alpha. It implies tan alpha equal to 2. Now take a triangle ABC triangle. Tan alpha equal to 2 by 1, opposite side by hypotenuse. Now AB square equal to, here we have BC square equal to AB square plus AC square. Sorry, tan alpha equal to 2, opposite side by adjacent side. So here we have to find BC square. So it's equal to now AB square equal to 1 square plus AC square equal to 2 square. So 4 plus 1 equal to 5. So BC equal to, here we are having root 5. Now from this we can find secant alpha. So secant alpha equal to, we have hypotenuse by base, root 5 by 1 equal to root 5. Alpha equal to secant inverse of root 5. Tan inverse of 2 equal to secant inverse of root 5. Similarly, cosecant of cot inverse of 3. So we should convert cot inverse of 3 in terms of cosecant inverse. For that we have to take, let cot inverse of 3 equal to beta. It implies cot beta equal to 3. It implies, now cot beta equal to, take a triangle PQR here. Cot beta, here we have cot beta equal to 3 by 1. Base by perpendicular. Then QR square equal to, we have PQ square plus PR square equal to, PQ equal to 3 square plus PR equal to 1. So 9 plus 1. So QR equal to root 10. Now it's equal to, here we are having root 10. Now we can write this one equal to cosecant beta equal to root 10 by 1. So now beta equal to cosecant inverse of root 10. But here beta equal to cot inverse of 3. Therefore cot inverse of 3 equal to cosecant inverse of root 10. Now here we have to find secant of tan inverse of 2 whole square plus cosecant of cot inverse of 3 whole square equal to, now tan inverse of 2 equal to secant inverse of root 5. Therefore secant inverse of root 5 whole power 2 plus cosecant of cot inverse of 3 equal to cosecant inverse of root 10 whole power 2 equal to, we know that secant of secant inverse x equal to x. Now in the place of x we have root 5. So root 5 whole square plus cosecant of cosecant inverse of x equal to x. So it implies here we have x equal to root 10 whole power 2 equal to 5 plus 10 equal to 15. Hence proved.